All right, so today we're going to talk about types of antennas. When we talk about types of antennas, we often talk about directional and omnidirectional. Directional antennas is focused in a specific direction and is considered very highly directive antenna and high gain. Omnidirectional antenna radiates in a 360-degree pattern and is typically lower gain. An example of a directional antenna would be a laser versus an omnidirectional antenna, which would be more like a light bulb. The light bulb radiates in a 360-degree fashion, and while a laser beam is a highly focused beam that shoots in one direction, extremely focused. We can further break down the antennas into a couple different categories. So we can first start off with directional antennas. Directional antennas are great for point-to-point links. So when you have a link from A to B, it's nice to have a good directional antenna. Antennas are usually solid dish antennas, which go up from 2 feet to even up to 8 feet. You've got grid reflector dishes. Looks much like a barbecue grill type of antenna. And you've got panel antennas, which are generally 1 foot to 2 foot antennas. And those antennas generally are aesthetically pleasing and look good on a home. The big thing to take away is that they're highly directive. So when you have a link, that beam width that we're talking about, when it comes out, it's very small, and it's best for noise mitigation that it stays small, and also for the actual increased gain. The tighter the beam width, the stronger the gain. So another type of antenna we like to look at are omnidirectional antennas. Omnidirectional antennas concentrate on 360 degrees coverage. So much like a light bulb, this antenna is typically in I like to call it like a stick figure or a stick pattern with a connector on the end, and the pattern radiates 360 degrees around. So everyone you can have a client in this direction, you can have a client over here. It does not matter. This antenna is going to do a beam width of 360 degrees. And this beam width is going to be rather large, much larger than, say, your directional antenna. And so the gain is going to be a lot less. And the last popular antenna is a sector antenna. Sector antenna is like a directional antenna and kind of like an omni antenna, but the sector antenna is very directional. So on a tower you would have, typically this is in a multi-point environment, you would put a sector antenna. You have the antenna up on a tower, and it's going to shoot a 90-degree pattern out. And this 90-degree pattern will catch everybody and all your multiple clients that are within that 90-degree pattern. Just write 90 degrees. Sector antennas are useful because it's a tighter beam width, so it only shoots in the direction that you need. So if you only have people going in the western direction, then there's no reason to put an antenna or have signal going out the back of the antenna. This also results in the ability to have a higher gain, more focused beam width, and is able to be for multiple clients. An omnidirectional antenna will do the same thing as a sector, but the omni antenna, as we discovered before, is 360 degrees. So it's going to cover everybody around that circle. So anyone, they can be on the back side of that antenna. The omnidirectional typically has a lower gain antenna. The sector antenna has a higher gain. Just to reiterate, the directional antennas again are primarily for point-to-point links. So going from point A to point B. You have Omni antennas, which are great for getting coverage at 360-degree coverage. And then a sector antenna, which is used for in a multi-point environment. So if you have a lot of wireless ISPs will use sector antennas as their antenna of choice when covering a large area, up to 3 to 5 miles, and you can have multiple clients.